let's talk about the piece of shit that is Hocus Pocus 2.
Whack. Terrible. I can't even.
Now streaming on Disney fucking Plus.
We are the Phronesis Project.
I'm Rick.
And this is Lauren. Let's get into it. So, we see the mini Sanderson sisters. So, I think they said 16, when a witch gets her powers. So, they're supposed to be like teenagers. They look smaller to me, but I think it was unnecessary. Didn't need it. Little girls were overacting. Wasn't for me. The intro before the title card
was a little confusing because you would think like, oh, they're making the
prequel,
the Reverend, a bigger part of the story down the line.
Mm-hmm.
When he's introduced.
Oh yeah.
But that doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, it works as an emphasis on the sisterhood that they have, where they're not all identical twins, but they rely upon one another to survive and actually, maintain. Where like let's say the girl is the leader, but the middle witch, where she's just like,
Mary and Sarah.
Yeah, get in the circle or whatever.
The calming circle, Mary.
Right, so like everybody kind of like plays a role or whatever the fuck. It sucks that this shit, it's trash. It wastes a lot of fucking time, for like a stupid fucking gag, right?
Yeah, and I feel like this is not what sisterhood is. You know what I mean? I feel like leave this movie to the witches. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to be. Oh, the coven, a witch is nothing without her coven.
Yeah, and there's no mother. There's not, like, you don't show that thing. It's just like them on their own, and you get a little bit of like Billy, I guess, before he turns into that zombie thing. But,
oh yeah, like in Billy. I only kissed her once in the woods. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, it's not good, and what a fucking waste. But after that, we go into
a high school setting.
Guess, yeah, our introduction, like the last one too. You transition straight into flashback to
them
the high school. The protagonist
saying the story of the Sanderson sisters, though.
Yeah, so the protagonist is this little witch bitch.
Little witch bitch, yeah. She's turning 16 and getting her powers. I just feel like I understand that they need new people, but I don't think we needed new quote unquote sisters. You know what I mean? And they're having it's turbulent with one of them. Because she's got a man. So oh my god, she's betrayed the sisters. How dare she?
How dare she?
It's like be independent and being a teenager in high school who wants to do that. It's just silly and kind of dumb.
And it's not even portrayed where her boyfriend's leading her down the wrong path.
Yeah.
They're just they're literally just together.
He's just a big old fucking doofus and they can't stand him.
Yeah. It's stupid. And that's what sucks about this fucking movie, where the last one, you have this intro that sets up a lot of things, right? It sets up the sisters, but it also sets up the fucking cat. It sets up the dark ass loss of the little girl. When Sarah Jessica Parker's character is running off into the woods with the little girl, it reminds me of the witch scene. Obviously, this is a lot more lighthearted than that movie, but that same holy fuck,
that same idea.
It feels like they're getting away with it, and they're just out of reach.
Lore, yeah.
So then everything happens, right? Everything happens. The cat gets set up, the sisters are dead, but then they get back with the black flame, and then the little girl is actually killed. It's insane, and
her soul is sucked away for their youth.
And I think this is a straight-to-TV movie. I don't know if this was played in theaters.
No, I think it so I was reading on Twitter, so I went to Twitter because I was upset. And someone said that it bombed in the theaters.
Oh, it did? Oh,
that's what someone was saying, so I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me. And then was then straight to cassette VHS because it was 1993.
So it didn't do well, so they just fast-tracked it to let's try to make these
movies,
sales.
Yeah, and then that's when it became...
That's when it popped off.
Yeah, the pop culture icon that it is now.
The point is, that first one had a lot of impact, and it had a lot of the great setup that led into the movie. It took to the very end to start paying off, where the cat finally gets released and reunited.
Literally the ass end of that movie. Yeah. It's not even last 5 minutes.
So this one carries none of that weight and none of that substance, and it's more it's more bullshit.
Yeah,
more
it's
unnecessary. We know
filtered, unnecessary bullshit.
I don't care about their first days of becoming a witch and coming across it. I'd rather hear about what mom was like to them, and that seems like a more interesting dynamic where it could have been Tom and Jerry, where the mom's head is cut off from the frame, and it's just the girl's kind of trying to manage the shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hate it. It sucks. It's completely opposite from the first one, and
it was really bad, and it only kept getting worse. And I was in deep disbelief and shock. The only thing that I laughed at in this whole movie that I liked was Mary Peggy Hill on the little iRobot fucking Roomba little mini vacuums. Yeah. Like it's what are those, like the little Segway thingies? I was like, oh my gosh, that made me go. And then Sarah Jessica Parker riding a Swiffer. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. But it wasn't even anything that great. And why are we running a Walgreens ad this whole movie? Like fucking 10 minutes in Walgreens, the end talking about Walgreens. This video is sponsored by Walgreens, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's super fucking annoying because it does seem to linger at that fucking location, and it's not like it's doing anything fun with it. It's just like, oh, go to the beauty supply, like,
and they're like drinking it, like it's just really like a bunch of stupidity.
I'm surprised the witches didn't like turn to the camera and like flash the label of what they're fucking drinking to maintain their youth. Like it's stupid, and like, you know, all they really do is they go in there and then like, oh, you look fine. They have like girls come in, do this filter where like where you just look better with, you know, on camera, and then at the same time where they look around and they have that big mirror.
Oh yeah, the distortion mirror. Yeah, and then the Sanderson sisters are good, but they didn't carry that same weight or energy like the first movie. I mean, like, granted, it was like 30 years ago, but yeah, just like everything, like their walk, you know how they trot together, like side to side, like that was off. Sarah Jessica Parker, whatever her name is, her energy was trying to be there, but it just couldn't match. Like everything was just like the only one who I would say is still on par. Bette Midler was fine, but I would say Mary Peggy Hill, her, it's like she didn't change. Bette Midler, she just looks really, really old, even with all the makeup. It's just not a good look.
It doesn't work on a lot of levels. And then when we get past the sisters, because you have a lot of people introduced, and you have the little witch bitch, and like we talked about, and it's her and like that girl that looks like a Turning Red character.
Oh, the little red panda right. Disney Plus movie too. Yeah, she does. She does look like that.
Minority character number 2.
Yeah. It was like, and their acting wasn't good, the 3 little girls either. They feel like the little girls in the beginning of the fucking thing who portrayed the younger Sanders sisters, their fucking acting was way better than these little girls who were in this movie, the whole movie. Like, I'm like, damn, this is really bad.
It's lame. I think the writers are absolutely out of their element.
Yeah.
They don't know how to write comedy without being like so like, ugh.
Yeah.
Patriarchy line, like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
It was
like,
stupid.
Like, this is supposed to be a nice, wholesome, fun movie where you can have a laugh and like forget about the bullshit outside, you know, like.
My issue is, why didn't they use the original director either? Like, what?
I don't know.
That's fucking stupid.
That girl, I guess, being a witch as well, as opposed to like it's people fighting against witches. Yeah. I think that element is stupid, and it's something that they carry on throughout the whole movie. When then we talked a little bit about the males in the fucking movie. As the last one, it had this balance where like the cat is a male and like he's literally saving their ass most of the time.
All the time, yeah.
And then the male, the other kid from Hocus Pocus, like the 16-year-old or whatever the fuck, he's a bitch. And like, you know, he gets punked a lot. But at the same time, like, he eventually tries to stand his ground and attempts to... He
has an actual arc.
He has an arc, and like he eventually becomes this competent fucking dude. And in this one, you have 3 characters where it's the first boyfriend, right? He's just a fucking, like we said, he's just a doofus. Like, he's just a punchline. There's nothing going on with that character. You know?
Stupid.
And again, like, it's the balance that's completely thrown off, where it's like the traveling pants of the sisterhoods or whatever the dumbass movie that shit was. Like, that shit sucked. I didn't care about that. Leaning into like one gender, like I guess trying to figure out who your audience is and trying to like write for that. Like,
I guess, but
I don't know if you're supposed, like, you know, if you're Disney, wouldn't your appeal would be like a little bit more broader? Oh, the guys though, the guys we're talking about, the boyfriend fucking sucked. The mayor, right? The dude Buster from Arrested Development. Yeah. You know, he's funny. You know what kind of shade of male he's playing. Like, very effeminate. lacks a lot of,
doofus.
commands no respect.
Yeah, even...
And then the dude who's like, oh, I saw you guys from far away and I loved you guys, and then I got your candle and here it is, you know, like...
Yeah, and I tricked these little girls.
Yeah, because that's how they get this whole thing going. Like, that fucking guy's like, you know...
Obsessed with them?
He's obsessed, but he doesn't tell the girl to, like, light the fucking candle or what's behind it. He's just, you know... a little bitch about it, you know. He literally sets him up for this shit. And it's like, how fucking what a lame way to fucking bring back these characters. And B, at least the first one had like the curiosity and the character trying to impress some fucking girl, where he's just like, you know what I mean? Like you get that motivation.
Yeah,
it's a little bit like it's a lot funnier and it's a lot more relatable. And having this is like that. What the fuck, dude? You just want to see something happen. And you could throw someone else's life on the line.
Yeah, it's like that this whole movie. Even the Sanderson sisters was like, when they were looking for the mayor, because whatever issue they had with him, that needed to be like a C plot that wasn't even needed, but the boyfriend was running to the house, and they're like, oh, look, it's the village buffoon or idiot, and he's like, oh, running all scared and stuff. It's just stupid. I'm like, this is such a waste of time. I found myself a lot in this movie just being, like, disgusted.
The bright spots are, like we said, like Peggy from King of the Hill.
Mary.
I think it's like Kathy Najimy or some shit like that. You know, she's great in this, where she's truly has a comedic...
She's a star, for sure.
She has a comedic delivery,
presence,
you know, and she can do it. Yeah, she can do it with just the voice, or she can actually do it physical, and like that's what's interesting about her talent, and like it's true, you know, it's like a true talent that she has, and it shows. Like in the Roomba shit, I think that's funny because the Roomba, like, they're set up to be a joke, but then they also eventually help down the line when they're taking up the fucking salt, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of nice.
They have a mind of their own.
Not that that's attributed to that character, but like that little connection, like the writing team or whoever was behind it, you know, that was a nice line of thought there. It just sucks that
it didn't go throughout the whole movie.
When you pan out, and you look at the story and as a whole, you go, "What the fuck, dude?" And we talk about like the dude Buster from Arrested Development. Like I thought the funniest scene was when I think he had his caramel apple.
Oh yeah, the candy apple.
He was like dancing towards
the flash mob. He thought was a flash mob.
And I thought that shit was hilarious. I thought like that's a great use of that character where he's being silly and he's like, I've never flash mob. I don't know the steps. And then his caramel apple is gone for the second time. Right. He was pissed. And again, I don't think that's a character that really has an arc.
Then it's just like he goes home and is like pissed off he didn't get his apple. You know what I mean? I think that's the last we saw of him.
Yeah. And then like moving past those best moments, but when the little witch, like, she overhears the sister saying, we were played as fools by the fucking kid. So then, like, the little witch bitch has it in her mind to go, oh, like, they're a trickable set of witches. I'm going to go ahead and just trick them. You know, as opposed to the first one where, you know, the character is thinking on the spot. Well, you're trying to write it that way, right? Yeah. You're trying to write it, they're thinking on the spot, and it's being, like, a little more on their toes. And it's an action moment for that character. You know, and it builds that character as well. So then going back to this, it feels like you're robbing all that character development by just being this lazy, like, oh, I hear, like, you know, you can just make them look like fools. I guess that's a thing, you know?
And we don't get the original cast in here, like, who are fighting against the Sanderson sisters. I'm like, if they live in the city, like, what? We don't even get a pass by?
We just have Billy and the sisters.
Yeah, right? But it's like, come on. And then we see somebody, like, they're passing the window and somebody's watching the first movie. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And then the flash mob, you see, like, shout-outs or reminiscence of the first movie. Like, somebody dressed like the mom in the Madonna outfit. So we see some of those sparks from the first movie. But I just feel like, what? Like, why not use the people who were in it before? Like, just in passing, you know, at the fucking festival that they have. Whatever.
Yeah, and I also want to talk about the conflict between the sisters and the Nuke sisters. Like, it's so lame where it's not really like head to head. Yeah. As the first one, it's more like the sisters start to disappear as a consequence of using that one powerful spell from the book, and she gains power, loses her sisters, and then like the new witches end up trying to help the sisters, and like the book doesn't want to do it. Like it's just
and book doesn't go to Winifred anymore. What? Like after 300 years, it's like you're a witch and you're gonna go to a new person. Like that shit's wild to me. Like I don't know. And then going good.
You have a choice.
Yeah,
you have a choice, my dear book, sir.
Yeah, the book that's made by the devil is gonna be good, right? Like it's just
stupid.
It's fucking dumb, and like
he has a heart. That book.
The book with the eye has a heart. Anyways,
fucking change a heart. That book.
The book that's made out of like human flesh or something. I think they said in the fucking original.
You know it's just I'm gonna use my power for good.
Good,
for white witch. Shit.
Fuck that. Like it's just stupid in that like they go good at the end. Like I just want to be with my sisters. Like no, if like you're a real witch, you'd be like.
It's
good.
for that TikTok crowd where like where they got them witches on that bullshit.
That's so annoying. I just all of it. Like I just didn't like it.
I don't know. I think it's a weird kind of not glorification of witches, but like good witches exist and they also could save the day. And the whole conflict, it's not really like again traditionally resolved. It's more like she helps them. It reminds me of like the What If when Star-Lord is like talking Thanos out of fucking
it's like the massacre.
What, dude? He just talked him out of not chasing the stones. The fuck are you saying, dude? Like this is just lazy fucking writing.
Stupid,
lazy and stupid lazy writing that's mistaken for some sort of fucking character development. Like they have this goddamn like I don't know, silver tongue negotiating skill bullshit up their sleeve, like
Star-Lord of all people who's,
Well, that was like T'Challa's Star-Lord, but you know what I'm saying? It's just it was fucking stupid.
Maybe that's why.
They even did I think they repeated that shit in Miss Marvel, where she's like, you don't have to be that guy. It's so fucking stupid, man.
Yeah, it was just terrible all around.
I don't know. I think overall, like, it lost the balance by having just like, a female-centric set of characters. It leaned on more on this like forced ass show tunes. Like as soon as the sisters come back, they do this fucking song and dance. Like, dude,
and the songs aren't even good. Like in the original, it was like catchy. It worked into the
and it played great.
Yeah, it played really great in the original. Like it worked into the movie. And this was
because they're being chased and like they eventually get cornered at this party. And then he's like, "Hey, the sisters, they're right there." And then like it's a moment where she's just like, "Fuck," like. And then I put a spell on you, and like she's
and now you're mine. Like that's
and it's written like as this moment for that character. Like she's thinking on her feet, and she's like, she's playing into her charm as whatever like witch that she could be.
Yeah.
Like a singing witch. It's awesome because like it's Beth Midler. I think is that lady from The Simpsons that throws the can spins out and she saves Krusty's career, and we talked about Peggy. Sarah Jessica Parker, like, fuck that. I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, she's just kind of like whatever.
But like it leans into that shit, and I think it has this redundant story or this uninspiring story that involves these characters again, by having like the fucking candle and then they're back and like
and they made a new candle, you know what I mean, from what was that left of the candle,
and how they're defeated. Like all the life and substance and all that shit was just sucked out of the franchise by doing this sequel, and I think it's diluting the franchise by being this mediocre. It's like shit. You had the first one could be like a nice standalone, maybe it turned into a cult classic to now like, hey, like a lot of people know Hocus Pocus. It's gonna be played multiple times this month on a lot of channels. A lot of people are going to watch it multiple times this month probably.
Yeah, it's amazing, but this whole remake was unnecessary. Didn't work at all. Overall, hated it. 0 stars.
Yeah,
would not watch again.
Yeah, don't fucking watch this. It's so fucking dumb.
Like 17 thumbs down.
So fucking then like I feel like we didn't really talk about the witch bitch, like her personality too much.
She was not a good actor. All of them were not good acting.
It sucks. It literally sucks. They're not compelling. They're not good actors. There's nothing relatable about the situation. And
what is there to say other than that it was bad?
A friend with the glasses. Then you have the other girl that's just like, I
have a boyfriend and my dad is married. You know what I mean? And they kidnapped me for a second. Yeah. Now you have to save me. Oh my gosh.
It's so fucking annoying, And then like it's dumb like the character who set these events in motion, his life gets, put on the line with the little hourglass, right? And he's like, oh, fuck, now I gotta move. And then he lies to Billy. And it's like, a lot of this shit is just like, ugh. Like, it's not, it doesn't
like it wanted to be fan service.
I don't know. To me, like, it lacks, like, likable characters. And, like, that's...
And substance.
Yeah, and the substance. And it's not like those characters in the first Hocus Pocus, like, they were, like, A-listers. Like, I don't know who the fuck those characters were growing up.
Nobody did. It was just good, and they did good, and, like, better than this shit. Like, Jesus.
And that's our Hocus Pocus 2 review.
We'll see you soon. We're the Phronesis Project. Thanks for watching.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!